Hi, this is Nicholas Bell, and welcome to this year's edition of Through the Looking Glass, where we contemplate a little further out into the horizon the most anticipated international features that might be made. Of course, things are subject to change, as most of these projects are just announced or in some state of pre-production, or maybe haven't had a status update in a little bit. So, we're looking at the top 10 most anticipated international features of 2024, and at number 10 we have All We Imagine as Light, which is the second film directed by Payal Kapadia, whose first film was in Director's Fortnight at the Cannes Film Festival in 2021, an experimental-ish documentary, A Night of Knowing Nothing. Her latest is a feature narrative about a nurse who receives an unexpected gift from a long-estranged husband. It was part of last year's Oxbelly Screenwriting Labs. We anticipate she would likely return to Cannes in 2024 in Director's Fortnight, if all goes well. At number 9, we have The Dreamt Adventurer from German director Valeska Griesbach. This is her fourth feature. Her last was 2017's Western, and she's returning to similar territory in her latest, which is set on the border between Bulgaria, Greece, and Turkey. And it's about a woman who helps an old acquaintance and is drawn into dangerous territory and has to confront her own desire. It was part of the German-French Funding Commission in June of 2022. Her second feature, Longing, competed for the Berlin Bear in 2006, and Western was part of the Uncertain Regard sidebar at Cannes in 2017. Likely she would have a chance at perhaps gaining entry into the Cannes competition for the first time in 2024. At number 8, we have Emilia Perez, which has also been listed as being titled The Veteran in some publications. It is the 10th feature directed by Jacques Audiard, who is attempting a musical for the first time of sorts in this film set in Mexico. It's about a lawyer named Rita who helps a cartel boss get away from certain aspects of his life through sex reassignment surgery. Selena Gomez and Zoe Saldana are rumored to be attached, as well as Carla Sofia Gascon. Would film sometime in the middle of 2023. Audiard is reuniting with Thomas Bidigan as screenwriter once again. His feature, The Beat That My Heart Skipped, competed in Berlin in 2005, but pretty much since then, Audiard has primarily been at Cannes. He competed for the first time in 1996 with A Self-Made Hero, which won Best Screenplay. Prophet won the Grand Jury Prize in 2009. He returned to the competition in 2012 with Rust and Bone, and then, of course, won the Palme d'Or for Deepan in 2015. He was last on hand at Cannes in Paris' 13th District in 2021, which went home empty-handed. We would expect him to return to the Cannes competition in 2024. At number 7, we have The Disappearance, or also known as The Disappearance of Joseph Mengele, which is the 11th feature directed by Kirill Serebrennikov, whose 10th feature, Limonov, has yet to premiere somewhere in 2023, although at the time of this recording it's maybe tipped perhaps to premiere in Berlin. His latest is based on the 2017 publication by Olivier Guez, which of course deals with the fugitive years of the Angel of Death, Joseph Mengele, who will be played by August Diehl, and about his journey from Paraguay to the Brazilian jungle. Serebrennikov has been in Cannes several times. He was in Uncertain Regard in 2016 with The Student. Primarily since then, he's been appearing in the competition in 2018 with Leto, in 2021 with Petrov's Flu, and then just this past year, once again, back-to-back years with Tchaikovsky's Wife. He's also competed in Locarno in 2008 with Yurev Den, and then in Venice, he competed back in 2012 with Betrayal. We would expect him most likely to return to Cannes for a fourth time in competition with The Disappearance. At number 6, we have the 8th feature directed by Fabrice Duwels from Belgium, Maldoror. He's reuniting again with Belgian notable Benoit Poulvord and French star Anthony Behan. This is based on a very infamous case about a child abuser in 1990s Belgium, which was called the Affaire Dutroux. Who the man was sentenced, I believe, to life imprisonment in 1996. before even starting filming in March of 2023, Duwels is also working on a documentary about Beatrice Dahl, The Passion of Beatrice, so we should hopefully see that sometime next year as well. In the earlier part of his career, Duwels was appearing at Cannes in Critics Week with his debut Calvaire. He was returned to that festival in 2014 with Alleluia. In Locarno, his film Adoration premiered there in 2019, and Inexorable premiered at TIFF in 2021. So, as a genre film, and based on Duwels' track record, it's probably a little less difficult to predict where Maldoror might end up, especially with genre films. It'd be nice to see him return to Cannes, maybe even in Director's Fortnight in 2024, maybe based on the production schedule. Berlin could be a possibility, and as always, TIFF seems to be a very friendly platform for Duwels, whose English language debut, Message from the King, starring Chadwick Boseman, premiered there. Next, at number 5, we have Emmanuelle, directed by Audrey Diwan, which will be her follow-up to her Golden Lion winning Happening, and would be her third feature. It's based on the classic erotic publication by Emmanuel Arson, which of course became a series of films and rip-offs in the 70s, the original starring Sylvia Kristel. Rebecca Zlotowski is co-writing the screenplay, which is very exciting, and Léa Seydoux will be portraying Emmanuelle. This will be Audrey Diwan's English language feature to shoot in the third quarter of 2023. We'd imagine, now being a Golden Lion winner and with such a high profile, Cannes would be a likely stomping ground, and we would assume she'd receive an invitation to the competition. But she could also go to Venice for a second time to compete for her second Golden Lion. At number 4, we have the third feature directed by Cantemir Balagov, Butterfly Jam. Of course, Balagov was one of the best films at the 2017 Cannes Film Festival with his debut Closeness, which premiered in Un Certain Regard, a sidebar he returned to with the second feature Beanpole in 2019, which is also excellent. He's reuniting with a famous Russian novelist Maria Stepnova for the script of his latest, which is set amongst a Kabardian immigrant community in New Jersey. So will also be his English language debut, and roughly is about a son who's idolizing his father for qualities that the man does not possess. Ari Aster's Square Peg Partners is producing, along with the titan of Russian producers, Alexander Rodniadsky. We would expect that Balagov, with his track record at Cannes, would likely receive perhaps his first invitation to the competition in 2024. At number 3, we have The Ends, directed by Joshua Oppenheimer, which would be his first narrative debut following his documentaries The Act of Killing and Look of Silence. Act of Killing, of course, premiered at Telluride, and Look of Silence competed in Venice, both of which he received Oscar nominations for. His latest has been termed a Golden Age-style musical about the last human family, and will star Tilda Swinton and George McKay. There haven't been as many updates about the production of this, so many have this pegged as possibly premiering sometime in 2023, but we are suggesting that maybe Cannes 2024. At number 2, we have Die, My Love, which would be the 5th film directed by Lynn Ramsey. Now, of course, Lynn Ramsey has been attached to many projects that have never gotten off the ground, but there are lots of big announcements every time she attaches her name to something. So this was announced in November, courtesy of Jennifer Lawrence. And it's an adaptation of a novel by Ariana Harwitz, and Martin Scorsese is apparently producing. And in short, it's about a woman alone in a cottage in the French countryside, going sort of through an unraveling, to be brief. Ramsey, of course, premiered Ratcatcher in Un Certain Regard in 1999, went to Director's Fortnight in 2002 with Morvan Collar, after a lot of delayed projects adapted We Need to Talk About Kevin, which competed at Cannes in 2011. She returned there in 2017 with You Were Never Really Here, which won Joaquin Phoenix Best Actor. She also won Best Screenplay for that. And as I've already mentioned, there have been many other projects announced since. So hopefully we do see this in 2024, probably in Cannes. And at number 1, for our most anticipated international feature of 2024, Those Who Find Me, which is also been listed as a title Historia, and it would be the second feature by Dea Kulembegashvili, the Georgian director who had one of the most fantastic releases, let alone first films, with Beginning in 2020, which premiered at TIFF and won the Golden Seashell at the San Sebastian Film Festival. She's returning to rural Georgia yet again with her latest, which is about a female obstetrician who's performing abortions. So if you've seen Beginning, I think we probably can imagine what kind of tone that might have. It's lensing in spring of 2023 as of this recording, so hopefully we will see Dea Kulembegashvili receive her first time competing at the Cannes Film Festival in 2024. Thank you.
Hey, this is Eric from IONCINEMA.com. If you want to support us, subscribe below. For more reviews, interviews, film festival coverage from Sundance, Cannes, Toronto, you want to check out these guys on this side.